Wow. That was shocking. Okay, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently CM Punk is leaving WWE. If you haven't heard the story, apparently Punk was pissed off that about all these part-timers getting main event spots when they don't deserve it. And he was pissed off about the fact that he wasn't booked on Raw, so he basically said, fuck this, I'm going home. And that's what he did, and now WWE has removed him from upcoming events, and wow, I really hope that this is not true. Like I said, it hasn't been confirmed by WWE or CM Punk himself, so you can't really believe it 100%, but it looks pretty convincing. And it amazes me how one event has led to so much of a debacle in WWE, and the event I'm talking about is Batista winning the Royal Rumble, which never should have happened. I'm still amazed that it did. I'm still amazed it was even considered. But I don't blame CM Punk for leaving. You know? I reckon some superstars should probably follow him to make a statement. And I commend CM Punk for doing what he did. Hopefully WWE might actually realise how stupid they are and might actually try to make a change. Because why are we still relying on part-timers? Why does WWE not see that the talent lies with the upcoming stars? And lots of those guys have talent, but for some reason WWE keeps on relying on these old guys who can't do what they used to do 15 years ago, who aren't as entertaining as they once were. But for some reason WWE sees that, maybe because they're stupid and they don't know how to run an entertainment business, and that's pretty concerning, except considering that's what they're meant to do. But you know, I don't understand the appeal they see in these part-timers. How do they expect fans to watch 50-year-old men attempt to put on a wrestling match that can only go for so long, because the wrestlers wouldn't be capable of that much more anymore? How do WWE expect fans to actually get behind that? It is really, really weird and concerning that they think they can get away with this shit. Like, you know, and like I said, this thing has just been blown out of proportion. None of this should have happened. Batista shouldn't have won the Royal Rumble. Punk shouldn't be in a position where he has to leave and find another job. It shouldn't happen. But it has, and it's all WWE's fault. And if their company gets majorly affected, then so be it. I feel sorry for the wrestlers, but I don't feel sorry for the people like Vince McMahon, because in some ways they deserve it. Like I said, the wrestlers don't, because they're the best part about this whole company at the moment. But it's just amazing. This week in WWE has been a week from hell for the fans and the company itself, because this is gonna hurt WWE majorly, and in the long run it might affect them too if they keep on using part-timers, because I've alliterated to this quite a lot. Part-timers should be used to benefit the young talent. But the way WWE is doing it, they're only featuring part-timers. There's only so long you can do that before these part-timers become old 80-year-old men who can't do anything but sit in a recliner and watch daytime television. That's all they'll be able to do in 10 years from now. What are you going to do when that happens and they all have to leave? You won't be able to do anything except pretty much restart your entire company, because there's, you'll have to build up new stars because you can't be bothered building up stars of today. It's just stupid, and there's one man I blame for all this, and it is the man that I rant about in 95% of my videos, Vince McMahon. This 70-year-old scumbag who obviously does not know what he is doing anymore. He has lost the plot. He needs to retire from this business. He needs to go home, live with Linda, live a long, happy life, because you don't belong in the wrestling business anymore. And I don't care if you revolutionize the wrestling business. This new revolution is shit. Some people criticize me for bagging on Vince McMahon the way I do, because they're like, oh, if it wasn't Vince McMahon, you wouldn't be able to make videos, and wrestling wouldn't be what it is today. And I agree. I agree 100%. Wrestling would not be the way it is without Vince McMahon, but what he has done over the last few years is bullshit. And that's why I hate him at the moment. Because he has stayed for way too long. Hand over the company to someone who actually knows what they're doing. You just need to step aside, Vince McMahon. You've done great in the past. Kudos to you for making wrestling what it is today. But you're dragging it down because of some of your stupid decisions, so leave before you're affected anymore. But I think, Vince, maybe there is no point in leaving because you've already affected it quite a lot. And like I said, it goes back to what you've been doing for the last few years now, bringing back all these part-timers. Why? All of these wrestlers, they were good 15 years ago. But that was 15 years ago. They have aged on and their wrestling ability has deteriorated. And I just can't believe how stupid Vince is. Especially, of all people, he brings back fucking Batista. This overrated guy who, like I said, I liked Batista in the past, but ever since he came back, he's been so sloppy. And, that's part of the reason I hate Batista right now. And not all of this is his fault. Most of it isn't, because some of the stuff that's happened recently is out of his hands. But I gotta think he played some sort of part in this. But I don't know why we are relying on this guy. He is 45 years old. He's got a few years left in him. He probably just should have retired when he left back in 2010. But no, he has to go into MMA and suck there. And then he comes back to the company that he bagged out in 2010. And that's another thing that astounds me. You have Batista, who talks shit on this company, and the way Vince McMahon rewards him is by giving him a main event spot at WrestleMania. That just shows how Vince McMahon operates. If you can draw money and give him more money, then you will be rewarded with high profile matches. And it just amazes me how Vince is willing to go to someone who has bagged out his company and just give him that spot when they haven't deserved it. What has Batista done to deserve this spot? He hasn't been here for 4 years, and he's old. His time is up. Your time was up like 7 years ago. Step aside, Grandpa. It's time for some new talent to emerge. And, the fans obviously think that as well, because Daniel Bryan is the most over guy in the company. And the fact that he is not even in the main event of WrestleMania is ridiculously stupid. Vince, you're a scumbag who likes to get heaps of money. Your biggest draw is Daniel Bryan, but for some reason you won't give anything to this guy, and I don't understand why. He's over with the fans. He's a good wrestler. What more could you want? This guy is the future of your company, not some 45-year-old he has been. So why are you relying on this guy? Why can't you realize that it's a new generation? There are new superstars like Bryan, Punk, Ziggler, guys like that who are talented, yet you don't give them a chance. And, when this company falls, because it's going to, if they keep doing this company's dead within a few years. You're eventually going to realize, wow, I really did fuck up, didn't I? And you'll have no one to blame but yourself. And, you just need to give it up. Give it to Shane. What the fuck happened to Shane McMahon? I don't know what's happening with him, but he should come back. He'll do a way better job than Vince McMahon ever could. Bring him back. Don't give it to Triple H, because he'll make it the Triple H show. Just give it to someone who understands what wrestling is all about. Vince, people change, people get older. New people come in, you need to push them. You can't keep relying on these old bastards. But it's just incredible, the stupidity of this man. But back to Punk, because this was the main reason I wanted to do this video. Like I said, I really hope he doesn't leave, because he is still one of the top guys in this company, and he's a massive draw, and WWE really needs him at this point. Look, that doesn't mean, don't let these bastards in WWE let you make a choice or make you stay in WWE. Don't let them force you to do that. Go do your own thing if you have to, but just WWE needs Punk, and I don't blame him for leaving. I would have as well, but I think without Punk there's no hope of change, because he can talk like no one else, and like I said, WWE needs Punk to finally get out of this rut they're in. And it's just amazing. This week in wrestling, it's gone from being okay, no problems, and then suddenly one event happens and it triggers a set of events that have just crippled this wrestling business, perhaps for quite a lengthy time as well. It's just amazing how that can happen. But like I said, it all falls on Vince McMahon. So WWE, have a good hard look at yourselves, and before you actually realize 6 months down the track that you've fucked up, but there's no way of recovering, actually do something about all of this, because this is unacceptable, and it shouldn't have happened in the first place. Definitely can't happen again. So yeah, but yeah. So if I had any advice for WWE, get rid of all these old bastards, push the new talent, because this is my concluding statement. Without these new guys, WWE's dead.